Hey friends, we are going to be working with our new transfer, Believe Santa, also using this Santa face cutout. Our cutouts now, our chalkable shapes, are a little bit different than they have been in the past. They don't have that bumpy texture to them anymore. They're more of a flat surface, but I still went ahead and sanded it. I really prefer to sand down these chalkable shapes. To me, it's just easier to work with. You do not have to do it. If you don't have one of these battery operated sanders, you can use just a light hand sander. You don't really need to go out and buy anything. And again, you don't even need to do it. So I just kind of messed around just a little bit. I did some of the edges to bring out a more distressed look. You can kind of see it on the corners there. What you want to do is get rid of all that dust and then make sure you clean it really, really well. So we are going to be using our Sea Spray. It's a brand new Dixie Belle product that we're offering. You can find that on my website right now. We have used it in the past. I've actually done many projects using Sea Spray. Salt wash is another name for it. Anyways, it's really up to you how much you want to add. If you notice, I add a little bit. I'm adding some water to the paste just to thin it out a little bit. It makes it easier to mix with that Sea Spray. What you want is a very thick brownie frosting, if that makes sense, feel to it. Also, with this red paste, I added a little bit of brown or bark to it to get a more vintage red look. Okay, and then honestly, what you want to do is just dabble. So you're just going to put some drops down. In the past, I have used more of a swoosh than droplets. Someone asked me to do it this way. They had seen another designer do it, so I did decide to do it this way. I actually prefer swooshes, and I'll do that again on another project and show you the difference. Or you can just go back and look at some of my older videos using salt wash, and you'll see the technique. The key to this is letting it dry really well. It's got to be very hard before you go ahead and try to do it. You can put it out in the sun, you can dry it with a dryer, or you can just let it sit overnight. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and paint right over it. I'm using this Focot paint. I didn't have a creamy or a vanilla color off-white, so I added a little bit of a dune paste to this white chalk acrylic paint just to give it that color and the look that I was looking for. Once this is completed, you want to make sure that it is dry really, really well, and you'll realize the reason why that Sea Spray has to dry. If you try to do this while it is still wet, you'll just get a mess. So even though it kind of looks messy right now, that's just because of that sandpaper. It's picked up a lot of that color, but you'll see once I wipe it off, you won't see all those smudge marks. But this is what you get. This is the look that we're going for. With this project, you can use any color combo. You can use teals, you can use bright reds, you can use golds. I used a shimmer copper in here just to give it a little more, again, vintagey look. Now, once you get rid of all that dust, wipe it down good, you definitely have to wax. And you all know what my favorite wax is. Again, you can find that link in the lounge. After you do that, go ahead and just put that transfer on. I used the handheld squeegee. I take the handle off. I don't use the handle. It's just easier to work with, but any squeegee size will do. You'll notice all I did was use black paste. There's so much detail on this guy that you want to make sure that you get all that paste covering it 100%. Look how easy it is, the peel and reveal. Now, you'll notice I did do some, when I used the dryer, I had some little bubbles come through. I did that on purpose. To highlight this, I used an ink pad and just went ahead around the edges and darkened the edges up a bit. In the previous frame, you'll see that I did pull out an Sylvie frame that I had, but we do have the Aidens that is still available, and you can get the same look using one of our Aiden frames just by sanding it down. And as I put in the description, I just used our chalk paste, black velvet, watered down, and painted the frame to get this look. Okay, you're gonna fuzz, put this transfer down. I did it all in one color dune. That was the backdrop that I'm looking for. You're gonna notice this is kind of like a 2-in-1 project. Once you complete this in just the dune paste and you peel up, you actually have a really beautiful project and you're good to go. If you don't want to use that chalkable shape, you do not have to. This is a great background for the Santa. I grabbed some embellishments. I don't have a lot of my Christmas stuff out yet, but I was able to grab a few things. I went ahead and put the ribbon and everything on to take a picture to show you what it would be like if you didn't use that chalkable shape. The chalkable shape is going to slide right under that ribbon, and you'll see that in a minute. So we're just going to complete this using the transfer as is. Again, I used dune paste. You can use vanilla, you can use white, you can use any color. Okay, so I don't want to ruin this board. I went ahead and put some painter's tape down. I used some of those tower blocks. I've posted the link for those. I doubled them up just because I wanted a certain height. Hot glued the tops and then just hot glued that Santa face down. You'll always be able to pull that face up, pull that painter's tape up, and wash the board. I hope you enjoy this project. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Thanks for watching.